Okay, here we are in San Diego, California. It's Saturday, April 6th, 2024, and we are with this wonderful person, and you are?
I am Audra Morgan, last name spelled Morgan.
And tell us about yourself, Audra.
Yes, well, I mean, we're here at the Village, actually. This is for an event for the Protect the Kids, collecting more signatures to stop the trans agenda and ideology that's going on in the schools. So we're here to, eat food, get signatures, and just, commune together to protect the kids. But I'm working on a lot of different things in the county. In fact, this coming Tuesday, there will be a Board of Supervisors meeting they'll be attending. There's always a lot of stuff in their agenda that needs to be addressed, so probably, talk about every item which they hate. And then also just been working on the border invasion that's going on. Trying to cover that and bring to the people transparency about what's really happening on our border, because the mainstream media isn't really telling the full story. They want to, portray it as though these people aren't being taken care of, when in fact it's very well facilitated and they're very well taken care of, all while our community suffers. So it's been really important to bring light to this, as it's something that we all need to be aware of, because this is an invasion on our border, and it's not something that we can ignore. And so that's what I've been working on mostly, and just doing a lot of research with that. But I also attend other board meetings, whether it's SANDAG or city councils, or there's MTS, there's the CARB, California Air Resources Board, there's the water boards, there's so many of them. So I just try and stay abreast on what is happening in the county, so that I can inform others about it, and just see clearly what's happening. Because if you pay attention to these people and just their agendas, you can see very clearly what's going on in your own communities, but it's when we don't that we can be very ignorant to the things that are going on around us. But part of that, I know, is that they want to keep us busy doing things so that we don't pay attention to the world around us, but we can be the change in our own communities. And I think that's what's so important, and that I try to instill in people and help them understand that the change starts with us. It comes from us changing ourselves, so that we can either accept what's going on, or, I just think a lot of times we're always focusing on other people, but when we can internally change and be the change we want to see around us, then the world around us changes. But when we don't do anything, and we're not even looking within and knowing that we're also flawed and that we have to do some changing ourselves, then, the world around us continues to just kind of go into the pits. But I believe that we can change it.
And with the border specifically, we're both familiar with what's going on down there.
Yes.
Can you tell us any politicians you've notified, either written or tried to call, or a staffer? Any response from any of them, briefly?
Well, I've actually asked for the information from the Migrant Center from the county as a CPRA, a public records request, and they keep pushing it off. So I've gone into the meetings. I've told them all at the meetings what's happening. In fact, when I first encountered some of these illegals, it was on a homeless point in time count a few months ago. And Todd Gloria and Stephen Whitburn from San Diego City were there also counting, and I brought it to the attention of Stephen Whitburn, which was interesting because it was like we were having two totally different conversations. He wouldn't acknowledge what I had found, which they knew about. I mean, I didn't know at the time that it was the Migrant Center. I just knew that they were at the Central Elementary, and so I brought it to his attention, and he acted as if there was nothing. Like he just said people aren't illegal, and he kept changing the subject. And I thought, well, when I found out it's the Migrant Center, why wouldn't you be transparent, right? And just say, oh no, that's what this is. But instead what they're doing is they're trying to hide everything. So it doesn't matter how many times I've gone to them and said something. There's been a couple that I've spoken to personally that are, they feel like they want to do something, but they don't really do anything. And it's unfortunate, because they're helping facilitate this, but they're trying to they're hiding it from the people. And if you look, you can see all of these programs within the city or the county that are for refugee resettlements and different things like that. But they want to, when you come up and ask them questions, kind of turn a blind eye or act like you're crazy for asking it, when I'm like, but you know that this is happening. You're actually giving money to all of these. Like, I found an article in that was done a few months ago before, or when the shelter was shut down, or the migrant center, and people like Jim Desmond and Nora Vargas were like, we got to engage with the community and have all of these community CBOs or the NGOs come in and help us deal with this. So they'll say it on one hand, sort of, and kind of give you a little bit of like an idea that they're trying to get help. But then when you ask about it, they don't want to talk about it at all, and they want to just brush it under the rug. So why do you have all of these programs in the county or the city that are set up to help facilitate this, even with unaccompanied minors, or just, getting these people jobs, figuring out how they can get, housing for cheaper, education, healthcare, how to, figure out how to eat and all of this stuff. So they have all of this set in place. Why can't you just, why can't we have a conversation about it, right?
With the what I call the secret hotels, I did recently see
Yes.
your video of the one.
The Ramada?
No,
The 4
I did the
points.
one. I've been filming the one in Ramada,
Yes.
and of course, there's been no response from 5
Right.
different political leaders. From local to state,
Right.
To federal, and then you filmed one in a different location. I can't remember
It's
the
the
name
4
of it.
Points.
Okay.
It's been shut down.
Okay, and it's.
That's off
okay.
of Rosecrans and the 8 when you just get off, and it's right off
Okay,
of
that's when I'll
Greenwood
visit
Street.
too. And they, of course, at the Ramada, they're not talking.
No.
It's locked down.
Yes.
And I did see the Damaras buses coming in, and
Yes.
twice within 1 hour, which meant that was over 100 people that were bringing in. I did find a little hole in the green mesh on the fence, and
Right.
shot the film, and did see Asian males, right? Probably China. Africans, not meaning anything about
Right.
African Americans, but people from the country of
Jamaica,
Africa.
even.
And then some Hispanics coming off with some children too. So, is there any one political person or community leader that has really helped you find any answers, or directed you, or has genuinely supported in what you're doing, of all the ones you've contacted and the ones I named privately to you?
I would say no. I mean, I know Jim Desmond is sitting there and he's, presenting as though he's trying to stop it, but he's also engaging with these NGOs that are facilitating it. So that's the thing, is like, as much as they want to stop it, when you're making it a well-oiled machine and to run just great, it's not to stop it, it's to help keep it going and to make it move faster, really. So that's the problem, is that even though they present as though that they're trying to stop something, I think part of it is a political, just trying to get votes for next time that, and present themselves in a way that people will think that they're doing something. But when you can see, you just would go down to the Irish Transit. I'm thinking, why don't we talk about the hotels, right? They don't want to talk about that, but they'll talk about certain things that you can see, which would be the Irish Transit, right?
So, I guess for me, it seems like no one who has some type of authority or power, in office, is listening. So, but there's a lot of people. There's the doers, and there's ones that are just kind of sit by and let all these things that are being exposed by just private people like us and others and press, but nothing happens. How can people help what you are doing? And also, if there's a link, a website, your Instagram, whatever, if you just kind of do it
Sure.
real slowly, and then kind of sum up with how. And I'm still a person who believes one person can make a difference.
Yes.
But it takes a lot of one persons, right?
Yes.
Like,
It takes us to be the
hopefully what
champ.
we're doing. So can you tell us how that can happen, and any contact information for you?
Yes, I believe that it starts with us. We have to be that change we want to see. So, if you want it to change, you can't come to me and expect me to be the change for you. I'll still continue to do it, but you also have to be willing to step into that. And it doesn't mean that you have to do the same thing as everybody else. We actually all play our own instrument, and together when we play them, we play a symphony. But when we're not honing into what that is, and sometimes you have to figure that out, but you're good at something, and you can, do something that will benefit the entire movement. So you just need to figure out what that is and do yourself a service by doing that. Do us a service by also presenting yourself and showing us who you really are and why you're here, because we're all here for a reason.
And how people contact you?
You can go to sandiegolivedata.com and find out more about what we're doing. I'm also on X at Eye of the Storm SD, and you can see more videos from what's going on with the border there, and you can contact me through sandiegolivedata.com.
All right, thank you very much, Audra. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
that.